All right, I'm going to go into the charts to watch that we're going to be watching tomorrow in just a bit. I'm going to talk a little bit about some ideas that I had in the chat room today and what happened. Home Depot was one of my first calls of the day. I called it short. This is the opening 5-minute candle right there, and you can see you had a higher low, and then you had this nice red candle. You can't see it on this chart because it's 5-minute candles, but it was hitting the 200-day, and if you watched last night's video, I was leaning short today, okay? Expected to spy the 2-day bounce to kind of be short-lived, but I didn't know. So anyway, I was leaning short. Home Depot from the open straight up into the 200-day. Great reversal setup. I called it short at 78, stop at 78.20, and that was a very, very nice one. I also had some trades that I botched. Coach is one of them. When Coach looked about like this, one of our moderators, Zozo, said, hey, Coach has good relative strength today. So drew it to my attention because I wasn't even watching it. Looked at the daily. And Coach was pretty much straight up. Now you can see what happened, right? You can see the reversal, but it was pretty much straight up into recent highs. A lot of people look at this chart as it's running and think, ooh, if that gets over 51, it's up into the gap, right? But what those people don't realize is if it's already moved up on an intraday basis like this to get there, you're more apt to be thinking, you're more apt to make money thinking short than to think breakout after this kind of intraday move, okay? What I did wrong was I called it, I'll show you, I used 10-minute candles. I literally called it short right below this candle. 50.62 high of day stop, you can see what happens. Triggers, takes out the high of the day, meanders for a little bit, and then loses it. So that's one of those aggravating ones that I was right about the idea and still lost a little bit of money, okay? Now, when I called this, I did give a suggestion. I said, what you can do, guys, because there's a chance, you can get whipped out on this. What you can do is take this smaller than normal and give it an arbitrary 30-cent stop. I experiment with that a lot, and a lot of times it works. And if you'd have taken it there, it would have worked, by the way. The 30-cent stop would have kept you in. Of course, you got to take it smaller than normal. But, man, it fell from 50.80 all the way down to, 49.40-ish. So, and I did get some thank yous. So some people did that. I didn't, though. I ended up losing on it, even though I was right about the idea. So this is one of those things. Collectively, as a group, we missed several today that I put on watch and then missed the trigger. So I'm not even going to go into those because I do not want to hear, I do not want people to hear me crying. And I'll start crying if I talk about it. I already talked about it in the member wrap-up video, and if I go into it here, I'm just going to lose it. So I'm going to leave it alone, but we were all over a couple and just missed them. All right. Having said that, one of our all-stars, again, Zozo, just mentioned him, mentioned GM as a short. Now, see this volume here? I think GM was on CNBC or something. And you can see GM got slapped at 34 bucks, tried to get through 34 here a couple days ago and just got reversed on, or in the morning, and then in the afternoon got slapped down at 34 again. Had some CNBC story or something. Zozo called this short. I'll show you 2-minute candles here. And it was smart of Zozo to be thinking short at 34. That's been an area that GM has issues with. He actually called it on the website. I'm going with 33.95. He actually called it short a little higher, I think right around 34. But it looked basically like this when he said you could short it here with a high of day stop. And that was just a beautiful call. And look, it ended up closing at the low of the day. So hats off to Zozo for catching that one. And I'll go ahead real quick and talk about one of them that I put on notice that I missed. Okay, I think I can talk about one without crying. So NDAQ was straight up here, great relative strength. I'll bring the daily over. And this purple line here is the 200-day. Okay, so let me scoot this over a little bit. I'll scoot it down here. So you can see yesterday it ran a gap down, but ran up all day and then ran up all morning. So you have 2-day run up into the 200-day and the falling 8-day moving average. Great place to look for a short. I'll get this out of the way now. And it actually looked about like this when I showed the room. Hey, let's watch this for a short around the 200-day, okay? Now, as I said to the members today, I need to go on Amazon.com tonight and order a head from butt remover because after I did that, after I posted that alert, I went off and had my head up my butt and was looking at something else. Totally missed it. Now look what happens. Look at the reversal right there. And that was a beautiful short that just went uncalled. All right, now, before I start crying, I'm going to leave it at that. But these definitely had some good ideas today. let's glance at the SPY real quick, and then I'm going to talk about my watch list. Now, if you remember a couple weeks ago, when Plug and Ballard Power, may have been a few weeks by now. Let's glance at them. When they, yeah, it's easily been a few weeks. When they lost it, I made a video, I put it on YouTube that said I think the top is near. All right, and after that video, you know, the market grinded up to new all-time highs, and a lot of people were probably thinking, "Hey, Mike, you're a moron." And I, you know, I had no idea. I didn't know if we were going to run back up another 100 points in the SPY. Who knew? But it ends up now. It's really feeling like, you know, the top is near, and maybe is in. And when I say that, it doesn't mean all time, but it means in the near future. Okay, we had all-time highs right here. Big sell-off, 2-day bounce, and then today, big push down again. Notice the volume on the red days. So again, I'm leaning short, and I'm still mad at myself. I may never get over Coach, you know, blowing that one, and NDAQ. All right. Having said all that, I'm done whining. I'm going to talk about my watch list for Friday. All right. Now, I don't know if we continue to sell off. It does not look pretty here. So on an intraday basis, I'll be watching for short setups. Absolutely. Okay. Like that NDAQ, anything getting shape up into the 200-day or a clean reverse 15s into resistance, that sort of thing. But all that aside, because we don't know how we're going to trade in the morning, you know, anytime the market looks like an obvious continuation short, there's a good chance it'll bounce. And it is sitting right at the 100-day. I'll bring that small chart over again. That turquoise colored line right there is the 100-day. So we'll see if it holds the 100-day at all. All right, but in the meantime, I want to have longs and shorts on watch for tomorrow, because even though the market looks ugly and I'm expecting a lot of shorts in our future, that doesn't mean tomorrow is the day, but it might be. We'll see. SPCB, never heard of this thing before, but very you can see it gap down huge back here, and there's been basing, long base. But look at the volume today. Now, that big volume spike was still only 1.6 million shares. That goes to show you how thin this thing was. Under 100,000 shares a lot of days. So this is one you got to be really careful with and trade small. But great relative strength today. So any strength in the market, we may find a low risk setup in that thing tomorrow, but you want to be careful with that one. PHM, a home builder, you know, bounced here, little bear flag, and still, you know, it has some room just to the recent lows below 1850. So that's a home builder that I have on short watch with market weakness. GM on short watch again, closed weak. I showed you the head and shoulders pattern. This one still has room to fall. So with a proper intraday setup, looking to short GM. ISR, love this stock. I have it on bounce watch. It's down here between the 8 and the 20. The exponential moving averages, and 4 days down in a row after the gap up. This one, with any strength, could get a nice percentage gain to the upside. MNGA, another cheapie. Love the support at the 20-day and the $1.40-ish area. And now you had the gap up yesterday on big volume, lighter volume today, and really had relative strength to the market, if that makes any sense. And, you know, it's got a lot of support in this area, okay? Especially above $1.40. In this $1.45 area, a lot of support. If I were a swing trader, I might have nibbled. Well, that's not true either. I would start nibbling if the market weren't so weak. But because it is, I'm not nibbling in ISR or MNGA trying to build a position. Normally I would in a stronger market because I like both of these stocks a lot. But instead I've got to look for intraday setups and try to play them on an intraday basis. SHLD, Sears Holdings. Back down now to recent lows after 4 days down in a row. Any kind of market bounce, that could give a nice bounce. And SAND, I believe, is a low-priced gold miner. I'm not positive, but it does have the word gold in it. And gold was fairly strong today. And if the market really gets weak, gold might become, you know, viewed as a flight to safety trade. So SAND is interesting, albeit a thinner stock, up over, you know, 605-ish, this one. If gold is rallying, this could be a way to play it without playing gold itself. All right, that's my list. We will find stuff to trade, you know, in pre-market, or we will find stuff to add to our watch list in the pre-market when we see gappers and, you know, high volume anomalies as the market unfolds tomorrow as well. I'm going to quit babbling, and we will see you guys tomorrow. Have a good night.